My name is Hersch Greene, and this is my final honors project. Today we're going to be discussing some artworks that were inspired by Ovid's Metamorphoses. I will be providing some context and discussing the artwork's portrayals in a style similar to how Ovid wrote their original stories. First, we have a painting titled The Abduction of Europa. Now we have a painting titled Echo and Narcissus by Nicolas Poussin. It was painted around 1627. In a twilight grove, where ancient trees whispered the secrets of the gods, Poussin set his scene of sorrow and beauty, plucking from the rich song of Ovid the faded tale of Echo and Narcissus. There lies the boy, Narcissus, more radiant than dawn, bent low to kiss the fleeting image that the still waters betray. Near him lingers Echo, the once voiced nymph, now but a hollow sound, gazing with yearning from the shadows she cannot leave. With measured hand and solemn grace, Poussin paints not the fiery wrath of Olympus, but the slow, aching doom of unrequited love. A youth consumed by his own reflection, a maiden wasted by longing. So as the painter's brush summons leaf, pool, and spirit into eternal stillness, he speaks the ancient sorrow anew. How beauty, when worshipped without wisdom, turns a heart inward and leaves only silence behind. Now we have a work titled The Flaying of Marsyas by Tiziano Vecchio. In the somber shade of Phrygian woods, where the proud and reckless meet their fates, Titinian summoned to his canvas the agony of Marsyas, who in foolish daring matched his piping against the golden lyre of Apollo. Bound cruelly to the ancient tree, his wild form is stretched wide, helpless beneath the cold precision of the god's blade. Apollo, radiant yet terrible, peels the mortal skin from living flesh, a slow and sacred punishment for defying the divine. Around them, the woodland spirits fawn, and river gods stand stricken in mute horror, while even the earth itself seems to darken at the sight. In Titinian's colors, blood and sorrow mingle, and the old law is made plain. No mortal, however bold, may challenge the will of the gods and hope to stand. Thus, the painter, like the poet Ovid, shows that pride is flayed not by malice, but by the stern, unyielding, unforgiving hand of justice. Now, we have a painting titled The Fall of Phaeton by Peter Paul Rubens. High above the shattered vault of heaven, where the wild horses of Helios' chariot broke their golden reins, Phaeton, foolish son of Helios, plummets from the sky. Rubens, with a hand as fierce as the lightning of Jupiter, captures the instant of ruin, the flaming wheels spinning loose, the steeds rearing in terror, the heavens scorched and earth trembling below. Around him, the hours and seasons, cast from their orbit, recoil in dread, their ordered dance undone. And there, upon his mighty throne, Jupiter, in wrathful mercy, hurls the thunderbolt that strikes the boy from the burning path, lest all the world be devoured by his reckless pride. Thus, in swirling clouds and falling stars, Rubens echoes the voice of Ovid, that mortals who grasp beyond their station will find not glory, but ruin, hurled down from heights by the sovereign hand of the gods. Now we have a painting titled Pallas and Arachne, again by Peter Paul Rubens. In the golden halls where craft and wisdom reign, Rubens sets the contest between Pallas, the daughter of Jupiter, and Arachne, the bold maiden who dared rival a goddess at the loom. With threads finer than morning mist, Arachne wove the sins of the mortals, while Pallas, her heart swelling with wrath beneath her helm, shaped scenes of divine triumph and mortal obedience. In Rubens' rich and thundering colors, the moment of doom unfurls. Pallas, in her fury, strikes down the mortal who forgot her place, and Arachne, stricken with despair, is spun into new form, her hand shrinking, her body withering, until she becomes a first spider, weaving forever her endless web. Thus, in brush and myth alike, Rubens and Ovid declared this truth, that even the highest dark cannot shield mortals who dare scorn the god's majesty. Now we have a piece of work titled Pygmalion and Galatea by Anne-Louise Girardot. In the quiet chamber where dreams and marble meet, Girardot breathes life into the ancient song of Pygmalion, the sculptor whose heart dared to love his own creation. There stands Galatea, once cold stone, now stirred by the soft breath of Venus, who, moved by mortal longing, entreats Jupiter to grant this miracle. Girardot captures the sacred instant. The fingers that once struck lifeless form now tremble at the warmth of living flesh. The maiden, born of art and prayer, awakens with eyes like dawn, meeting the gaze of her astonished maker. Around them, the very air shivers with unseen divinity, for the gods smile upon such pure devotion. Thus, Girardot, like Ovid before him, shows that love, when true and desperate, may conquer even the rigid bounds of nature, and that through grace the inanimate may rise and answer the heart's deepest cry. Now we have the painting of Apollo and Daphne by Giovanni Battista Tiepolo. In the dappled light of an ancient grove, where fate and passion intertwine, Tiepolo gives form to the flight of Daphne, beloved of Apollo. The god, struck by the cruel arrow of Cupid, pursues the maiden with burning desire. Will she, pierced by another shaft, but of disdain, flee swifter than the wind? Tiepolo captures the instant of transformation. Daphne's arms, outstretched in desperate plea, stiffen into branches. Her hair streams back and becomes a crown of laurel leaves. Her feet, once swift and fleet, root deep into the trembling earth. Apollo, reaching, finds only bark beneath his touch. Yet still, in sorrow and reverence, he claims the laurel as the sacred tree. Thus, Tiepolo, following the song of Ovid, shows even how the gods, though mighty, are not free from longing, and how desire, when pursued too fiercely, can be answered with silence and stone. Now we have the painting of Diana and Actaeon, again by Tiziano Vecellio. In the secret glades where no mortal gaze was meant to fall, Titian reveals the fatal moment when Actaeon, a wandering hunter, stumbles upon Diana, the chaste daughter of Jupiter, who is bathing with her nymphs. The goddess, her face burning with immortal wrath, lifts her hand in command, and Actaeon, struck by divine vengeance, begins his dreadful change. Already the horns sprout from his brow, his voice falls into the cry of the stag, his strong limbs tremble and twist into a beast's form. Around him, the painted nymphs scatter like startled doves, and the sacred waters ripple with the breach of mortal folly. Thus, in the sweep of Titian's brush, Ovid's tale lives again. How even a chance glance upon the divine carries ruin, and how the gods guard their mysteries with a fierce and merciless hand.